Today, I'm going to be talking about the S rank characters on alt rank, but basically it's just a community done tier list. And I want to talk about the characters that I think it's not a tier list, but it's basically just a list explaining, I guess, how easy a character is to abuse at a top level. I think that's like the easiest way to think about it, because if I rank a character like in this category, I'm not saying that they're better than the characters that are below it. What I'm saying is that they have a better toolkit, that it's easier to play them at top levels because it's just less for you to worry about, if that makes sense. But yeah, so let me explain what this means. So I'll go one by one. I'll go to has minigame, and has toolkit easy to abuse. So toolkit easy to abuse should be straightforward. It's like their moveset is just really strong, and it allows them to kind of play the same regardless of like the matchups they play against. Like obviously there's some matchups they're gonna have to play different, but for the most part they can kind of just do the same thing across the board, like give or take a few exceptions. Has a minigame the opponent has to play. It's basically if the character has some sort of X factor tool that they could abuse. So I guess, you know, like an item, maybe there's like a particular move that is really difficult to get around that you have to really consider when you're fighting them. And then does both, I think, should be self-explanatory. That means they do both of these things. And then does neither means they do neither of these things. So if your character does both of those things, I would say that automatically makes it easier for you to succeed in like a super major setting, only because of how easy it is to get matchup checked in Ultimate. I think characters that do both of those things, it's really difficult to matchup check them because they can kind of, well, for one, they're forcing you to play their matchup, and then on top of that, their toolkit's easy to abuse, so you don't necessarily have to worry about changing how you play too much. All right, I'm gonna go down the alt rank list, but I'm gonna go like one by one, like through like the top, and then start from the bottom. So basically I'm gonna start with Steve and then end with Shulk. And yeah, I'll do that right now. Shocker, Steve does both. You know, he has blocks, he has minecart. Those are like some pretty incredible moves to work around. He also just has incredible frame data, so yeah, he forces you to play his game. You know, you have to worry about mining and strengthening his toolkit. I don't really think there's too much to explain there. Next, we have Pyra Mythra. This one might, I don't think it'll shock people, but I would put them in, they have a toolkit that's easy to abuse category. I don't really think they force you to play their minigame. Especially because I feel like in most cases they're actually playing the opponent's minigame because of how their moveset works. Like, yeah, they're fast and stuff, but that's kind of all they have. And then Mythra has some pretty unsafe moves on shield. Like, Mythra has to be really careful about how they touch your shield, because like all of their aerials, or most of their aerials, are very unsafe. Like, I would say at lower levels, Mythras like to abuse Nair. Nair is not that safe on shield. It's very easy to just shield grab if they space it, like they don't space it properly. And then if your character has like a good out shield option, you can just punish them for doing it. And then on top of that, they have a bad recovery, so their toolkit's easy to abuse, but then they kind of have their own downsides that they have to worry about. Next, we go on to Joker, and Joker does neither of these things. I don't think Joker's toolkit is easy to abuse, nor do I think he has a minigame that he forces you to play. Some of you might be thinking, well, wait a minute, he has Arsene. Well, I wouldn't necessarily say Arsene is like a minigame, because it is a comeback factor, but at the same time, you can play him normally and still beat him. I don't think he is doing anything super crazy compared to the other characters that we're gonna see on the list. The other thing to consider about Joker is that his toolkit, while it is good, I'm not saying Joker's bad. Again, I'm not saying Joker's bad, but I don't think his toolkit is easy to abuse. One important thing I feel like for a character that has an easy to abuse toolkit is that they have good frame data and good hitboxes. Joker's frame data isn't the best, especially when you look at his out of shield options. His most reliable out of shield option is probably his back air, and that's not very fast. And that's also like behind him. It's not really covering in front of him. You have to really rely if you want to like make the argument that Joker has like a fast out of shield option, you're gonna say footstool gun out of shield, but then that only works on aerials. So yeah, it's just he's a good character. It's just he's not really forcing you to do. He's not forcing you to play the way he would want you to play. He can kind of work around some things because he is a good character, but he's not making you play he's not making you do what he would want you to do like the other characters would. But anyways, let's get to the next character, which is Sonic. Shocker, he does both. Sonic's toolkit is easy to abuse because of his spin dash and spin charge, and at the same time he has great, he has phenomenal like mobility. He's the fastest character on the ground, and his spin dash is also the minigame because he can corner himself and then just abuse spin dash because it's intangible and you can't touch him. So kind of really have to play around spin dash and just know how to utilize it, or know what to do against it. Or if your character can, some characters legit they don't really have like any solid answer for spin dash and they just auto lose. Like, it's like the meme from Sonic says, that matchup is unwinnable, give up. If you can't beat spin dash, if you don't have like a good answer to spin dash, you're not going to beat Sonic. All right, next character is Fox, and Fox has a toolkit that is easy to abuse. He has amazing frame data, like one of the best frame data in the entire game, not just in terms of mobility, but in terms of attacking and how safe his attacks are. So he has that. He has like probably the best dash attack in the entire game. It's frame 4. And basically that means that if he parries something, he could probably punish you with dash attack. His dash attack's amazing, very active, good for ledge trapping, it's good for approaching, it's good for juggling. It's a really good move. He has like really strong damage output with his upper and stuff like that. His recovery also isn't as bad to abuse, or it's not that hard to abuse. Like, you could say side B slow, but then there's like the whole thing where like 1/4 of it, there's no hurt box, and then he has good mix-ups because of his fall speed and shine and stuff like that. So good character, really good character. Good toolkit to abuse. Good kill confirm as well, that's right, yeah. Nair up smash is really strong. Weak dash attack into back air up smash is also really strong. Up air and up air is really strong. That can also confirm the kills. He has dare to mix up with his nair as well. So he has a phenomenal toolkit that I would say is easy to abuse. Next up, we have Rob. Does both pretty well due to the fact that Rob just has really good frame data. Like, it's actually crazy because he has like the frame data of like a rushdown character, like with his down tilt, stuff like that. So he has that going for him. He has a really good nair hitbox. He has gyro. Gyro I would say is a minigame that you have to work around, because for one, a lot of characters are, I would say item play is probably where a lot of people are weak at, especially items that are obstacles. I would say that's a huge one to have to work around, because gyro could be hard to grab. It could be easy for him to combo into with like down tilt, like you can do down tilt, put into the gyro and up smash. You have to be really, really careful about gyro. Like it controls stage incredibly well if you fight a good Rob. And it's also really strong. It's also a really strong ledge trapping tool. And then he has a 0 to death with it, so you have to worry about getting 0 to death from gyro. Kazuya, I don't think there should be any surprise as to where I am going to put Kazuya. He definitely does both. Electric Wind God Fist, basically just the fact that he has such strong death combos forces the opponent to play his minigame because they're fearful of getting hit at the wrong spot. They're fearful of getting grabbed. They're fearful of getting electric, getting comboed into electric in multiple ways. So that in itself is a minigame. And then Kazuya's toolkit is very easy to abuse. He's one of the heaviest characters in the game, so he has great survivability. Electric Wind God Fist is one of the best moves in the entire game. He also has the rage drive for whatever reason. He has a good comeback factor. He has a lot of things he could abuse. He has a lot of moves that could just outright kill you. You don't even have to really combo into something. He can just hit you and you die. All right, anyways, let's get to Roy. Roy has an easy to abuse toolkit, great mobility, good hitboxes because he has a sword that's a disjoint, the best jab in the game if you get the sweet spot. Like, just the fact that he can ledge trap with jab, the fact that he can jab at, like, into whatever he wants is pretty ridiculous. Jab side B is absurd. So that gives him a pretty easy to abuse toolkit. But like Pyra Mythra, his recovery is exploitable. His recovery is pretty exploitable. You know what? I'm gonna kind of order this because I would put Fox here, and then I would put Roy and Pyra Mythra here. I'd put Roy. I think Roy's toolkit's easier to do. All right, next character, Peach. I am going to put Peach. Where's Peach? Does neither. Peach is one of the hardest characters in the game to use. I know that Mute Ace and Umeki, they do these crazy combos and you're thinking, wow, Peach is broken. That's hard to do. That is hard to do. I would not say that it's easy to abuse. I wouldn't even say Peach is a minigame character because she doesn't force you to play her game. She can kind of mitigate other characters' minigames, but she's not forcing you to play her game. Like, yeah, she'll float and stall you, but what is float actually doing other than kind of putting you in like an awkward position? You're not really forcing the opponent into like a corner or something like that. She can pressure you with float, but it's not like Sonic Spin Dash where you have to just like respect it. There's some characters, literally, they see Peach float and they just jump and hit her. A lot of matchups, I will say this, especially zoners, Peach is forced to play the zoners minigame. Like, yeah, if she gets in and gets a hit, then yeah, but it's more so her just doing crazy damage if you can get the combos down. Okay, let's go to Cloud. I feel like Cloud's spot should be incredibly easy to predict. He is clearly easy to abuse. Cloud has a backer that, if spaced properly, is -3. The hitbox is also gigantic. It also has Cross Slash, which is a really strong option. Like, it's a really strong burst option that you can also use to anti-air, because why not? Like, I don't know if you've seen the hitbox for Cross Slash, but it's pretty high above him, surprisingly. You can argue that Cloud's recovery isn't the best, but I would say compared to like Roy and Pyra Mythra, Cloud's recovery is the hardest to gimp, especially considering the fact that when he does Climb Hazard, like, the hitbox comes out frame 7, right? So you kind of have to respect it. He also has the downward variation where you can slash down, so he has mix-ups on that. He has limit, so yeah, he has a lot of things that make it hard for him to edge guard you. Cloud's recovery isn't that bad. No, I agree, it's not. That's what I'm saying. Like, he has a lot of mix-ups. He has great mix-ups to make it hard for you to edge guard him if you know what to do. And then he also has a good directional dodge. All right, next up, Wolf. Wolf does neither. He's kind of in the same boat as Joker, honestly. Wolf and Joker are similar in a lot of ways, where they don't really have strong out of shield options. The way you confirm kills with Wolf is like landing fair. You have to get landing fair, or you have to hope you get a 2-frame or something like that, or it's like some sort of setup that is like really, I wouldn't say is really specific, but the way you have to hit is like pretty specific. And if the opponent knows what you're looking for, they're not going to just give it to you. But yeah, again, I'm not saying Wolf is bad. I think Wolf is an amazing character. I just think that a lot of the times when he's playing against the opponent, he's playing, he's kind of forced to play the opponent's game rather than like force the opponent to play his. Okay, so we have Diddy Kong. I believe Diddy Kong's the only character on this list that I have that has a minigame that the opponent has to play, and that's mainly due to Banana. It's kind of like Rob, where Diddy has an item that is an obstacle that you really have to play around, and you have to know what to look out for. Especially considering if Diddy's holding Banana, his outshell options become significantly stronger. If he has Banana like on the stage, that's an area you have to like respect, because you can't just run in, you'll slip on the Banana and like Diddy will get a combo and stuff like that. Yeah, so knowing how to deal with Banana is really, really important, and again, he can use it to control stage. It is a minigame. That being said, I don't think his toolkit is easy to abuse. He has crazy damage output, but it's kind of like Peach, where it's not free to get. You have to really like grind out how to utilize it. And if you look at Tweek's combos, it's like, damn, he has to be aware of like how to hit the opponent with Banana in certain spots in order to get this high damaging combo. It's not like you're just mindlessly dash hacking or something like that, jabbing and getting combo. All right, Pikachu. Pikachu's interesting because I feel like I would put Pikachu and does neither, but at the same time, I feel like Pikachu kind of does both, but I don't think he does it well enough. I don't think he does it well enough to like warrant putting him in one of those categories, if that makes any sense. Because yeah, its strides basically, yeah, timeout Pikachu. Like Pikachu can be hard to hit. You can abuse quick attack and stuff like that, but like how realistic is that to do consistently? Like how well does that work across the board? We have yet to see that. We have yet to see that. We'll just have to wait and see what Shiny Mark does. And then Toolkit being easy to abuse, I would put him in there if I didn't see Pikachu's mess up his Nair combos as consistently as they do. Because I don't know, I feel like his Nair strings should be easy to do, but then I see so many Pikachu players just mess up doing his high damaging combos. So I don't know. I don't know how easy his Toolkit is to abuse. You could say he started to hit because of his hurt block shifting, but I wouldn't warrant that as giving him an easy to abuse toolkit because of his. He doesn't have like gigantic hitboxes that he can abuse. He doesn't have crazy disjoints that he can abuse, right? His damage output's good. It's just not easy to do consistently, it feels like. All right, next character, Pac-Man. Pac-Man does both. It's kind of like Sonic in the sense. It's kind of like Sonic and Steve in the sense where it's like you have to play around Hydrant. Hydrant kind of like if you don't know how to fight, if you don't know how to play around Hydrant, a lot of characters just auto lose. If you don't know how to play around, you don't know how to play around like his items, you auto lose. Like if you don't know how to play around Galaga or Bell, kind of just are screwed. Eve Light, basically, it's like he just has like a lot of obstacles you have to deal with. His great frame data, that's something that is kind of absurd when you look at him, because it's like, oh, he's doing all these moves to keep you out, and then once you finally get in, he has hands better than you. What the fuck? Like how? Okay, next character, Snake. Snake does both very easily. Grenades basically do everything for him. Grenades do everything for him. But Snake's also one of the hardest characters that if you have a deficit against him, he just smashes nades, and what do? Like, it's so easy for him to trade. It's, yeah, like a lot of matchups that Snake has, he can just auto beat the opponent because they don't know how to deal with grenades. Even now, people just don't really know how to deal with grenades that well. And if you don't know how to deal with grenades, that's horrible because, like I said, they do everything for him. It's really easy for him to just trade and like make the deficit he has against you like even wider. You can also set up into kills with grenades. You can set up traps. There's just, yeah, Snake is really, really good. I am looking forward to see where the Snake meta goes because he's definitely a character that I think we're going to see more of at higher levels of play. Min Min, Same thing. Easy to abuse toolkit. Just the fact that she has Dawson-like range, but no hurt box on her arms is absurd. She has mix-ups, like if Min touches your shield, she's positive because she can throw out the second arm and punish you before you can do something. So she has that going for her. She has crazy good two-framing options. She can basically just like keep you at a distance and like make it really difficult for you to commit to a lot of things. Then it's kind of similar to like Rob and Pac-Man, not to like the crazy extent as them, but her frame rate is also really good. Like she has really good up close tools that she could just, yeah, she could abuse. So there's that. Palu goes here. I think I'm gonna put her here. I think Palu's toolkit is the easiest to abuse out of like those that I have so far. Palu, it's crazy to me too, because I feel like so many Palu players complain about their character, but like when you look at everything she does, she has an answer for everything, or I won't say everything, but she has an answer to most things. And then like some of the answers she has, other characters don't. Like the fact that she has two moves that are invincible with her back air and dash attack. Dash attack being invincible is pretty ridiculous because that's like a really good burst option. And yeah, she can kind of just call out moves that no one would be able to because her move is legit invincible. Her Nair is just like a really strong combo starter, can confirm the kills as well, can corner carry the opponent through ledge trapping. Is good two framing options. Her down tilt is super active. It's like almost active for a fourth of a second, which is crazy. And it can two frame. Her up smash also is pretty solid at two framing. It's good grab range. She has a strong kill throw. She has a pretty solid combo throw. She has just a lot of things working for her, like really active moves, pretty safe aerials, like pretty safe poking options. And like good zoning, good reflector, counter. I mean, her counter's not the best, but she still has it. All right, next character. Second to last, we go to Game & Watch. I think we all know where Game & Watch is going. Game & Watch has the best juggling in the game. Yeah, he has amazing juggling. He has the best added shield option in the entire game. So like a lot of characters literally have to respect Game & Watch's shield just off the sheer fact that he could frame 3 up beat them, and then potentially it leads into juggles. His toolkit is very strong. He has really strong throw combos. If you guys don't know, up throw into up air does 30%, which is like pretty ridiculous to think about. Air is just like gigantic juggling hitbox. Up air is like a really good juggling hitbox. He has phenomenal traps, not tracks. He has phenomenal traps, everything. It's pretty absurd. He is really, really good. Okay, last but not least, we have Shulk, and I'm just gonna say it right now, I don't think Shulk does either. You can argue that Shulk has minigame mechanics as Monado Arts. He kind of does, but like not really, in my opinion. If you really want to argue, sure, you could put Shulk in minigame, but I don't feel like Monado Arts are active enough for him to like fully abuse them as much as like Diddy, Banana, or Rob, Gyro. I would say that the two scariest Monado Arts to worry about are like Shield and Smash Art. And then Shulk's toolkit definitely is not easy to abuse. Frame data is just not the best. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my rambling. If you did, make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Smash content. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.